Welcome to another episode of Have You Seen It? I am Charles, and I am with the lovely but cold. She got on a sweater today. Our weather here is totally crazy. Totally crazy. We was in the 80s and 90s, and now we're in the 50s again, right? I was like, what is going on with this weather, Denise? What is going on?
It's global warming. It's global warming. People need to get on board. It's global warming.
So, Denise.
Yeah.
What movie are you recommending to our audience this time?
All right. The movie I am recommending is
Hello.
Marksman.
Excuse me.
What?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey, listen. We're gonna do something a little different today, and you don't know about it, and your audience doesn't know about it. So, hello, audience. And yes, welcome to another edition of Have You Seen It? I am the producer, Coach B.
Oh my
As we enter the summer, this is the first episode of June. I'm going to take it off track a little bit, and you're not going to be getting movie reviews from your two favorite hosts today. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to do a little something I like to call get to know your host. The objective here today is at the end of a few minutes, you folks are going to know something about these two that you don't know already. I will start it off. I met Charles. They don't know about this, by the way. I'm just being
Absolutely,
honest
we do
with
not
you.
know anything about this audience. So
They've done their rehearsal. They're ready to go, and they think they're going to bring you some rock'em sock'em movies, but it ain't happening today.
apparently not.
So for you two, what I'm going to
Who
do is I'm going to put out basically a couple of questions. You're going to answer the questions, and I'm going to move on to the next one. For the audience, I met Charles 7 years ago, and he has been a literal pain in my behind all 7 of those years. I met Dee 31 years ago, which is actually half of my lifetime. So if you do the math, you can figure out how old I am. And she has been the joy of my life all of those years. So you see how these two opposites kind of attract here. It really makes for what I hope has been an enjoyable show. For the last 15 months, these two have been in quarantine, bringing you reviews and recommendations and thoughts and things like that. So what I want to do today is do something that will help you get to know them a little bit better. And they're totally unprepared for this. So let's just dive right in.
Correct. We are totally unprepared.
We're going to start off with something a little easy. What is your favorite movie?
Oh man, that's a good one, right?
Man.
One of my favorite movies is Angel and the Bad Man, starring John Wayne.
I only have one choice.
That's correct. What is your favorite movie today?
Okay.
Right now.
My favorite movie today is Shawshank Redemption. I love me some Morgan Freeman. I just do. And that movie, if it was on right now, I would watch it.
The Voice.
Fair enough. I'll take those. Moving on. What TV shows are you watching right now?
Oh man, The Nevers on HBO. I find myself totally engrossed into this show.
Most of the shows that I've been watching are now on hiatus, except for one. And actually, it just went on hiatus last week. But if you had asked me this last week, my answer would have been This Is Us.
All right, sticking with you, Dee. What do you do when you're not working?
I read. I work jigsaw puzzles, crossword puzzles, and watch movies and TV.
I do not read. I do a lot of yard work, right? I like to have a nice yard, so I'm out, and I'm actually out doing yard work.
Okay, sticking
I
with
left
you.
out one thing.
Please, go ahead.
How could I leave this out? I work out.
And you can tell it. You can tell who works out here, right? Between me and Dee.
With that, Charles, I'm sticking with you. Next question. What is your biggest fear?
That is a really good question. I'm going to say the world that we live in now, we are not very good stewards of taking care of it. I wish that and probably won't happen in my lifetime, that we would be better stewards in taking care of the one planet that we live on right now.
Biggest fear, losing my eyesight and becoming paralyzed.
Staying with you, D. What is something that you accomplished as an adult that your younger self would be proud of?
I would say receiving Teacher of the Year award.
Charles, something that you've accomplished as an adult that your younger self would be proud of?
I got a master's degree. I as a young adult, right, education was the farthest thing from my mind, right? But, as I grew up, as I got older, right, I saw how important it was, not only for me to get education, not to just get my bachelor's or my master's, but for me to also be a good example for my kids, because I preach education to them, right? So me getting it was a good example to show them that, hey, you can achieve it also too.
Next question. Are you an early bird or a night owl? I think I know the answer here, but I'm going to put it out there anyway.
Are you going to start with me? Are you going to start with me?
Yes, I am.
I am a total early bird. I don't care how late I go to bed, right? I am totally going to get up early, right? I just cannot lay in the bed, right? And when I'm up, I am totally up.
I am an early bird. I have to wake up early for work with the alarm, obviously, but on the weekends, I wake up, on my own, and usually when the sun is coming up.
Sticking with D, what is your favorite food?
Seafood.
Care to expand or expound?
Crustaceans, shrimp, crab, lobster, oysters, mussels, clams.
Okay.
Squid.
Charles, favorite food?
I love, and they used to have in this area a place that we used to go to all the time. I love Chicago hot dogs. I love them, right? I love because they're probably the most unique hot dog, right, in America, right? And they are just fantastic. I will, if there was somewhere in driving distance that I could go get an authentic Chicago hot dog, I would go and drive and get it.
What is your favorite outdoor activity?
I am an avid golfer, right? It is literally the one sport that I do not play well. I love the game. I love playing. We have a group of people that we play with, myself and the producer, right? And we get along really well. We have a great time every time we go out, right? And Dee has actually joined us in some of those outings, right? And she is actually a really good golfer, right, compared to me. So that's one of the favorite things I like to do outside is golf.
I would say riding my bike, and second would be golf. I just wish I could play more than I do.
What do you think is the greatest invention in your lifetime and why?
The car.
Car was invented before your lifetime.
I know.
Before you were born.
That's why I hesitated.
You're not that old. It's got to be something that was invented in your lifetime.
What was that? The George Foreman grill.
All right.
Yeah, because the George Foreman grill, because when I was, single, that, made some good chicken. When, it really, and I don't like to cook a lot, but when that thing came out and it could make a chicken breast and like that, I was like, I'm glad George Foreman came up with this idea.
Charles, can you best that?
I don't know if I can bet George Foreman now. Come on. But I'm going to say probably microprocessor.
What?
It's literally
Computer chip.
Oh,
it truly has changed the way that we can access information, do things, right? I mean, literally, it's just changed our whole life.
Okay, stand with you, Charles. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
I would say one of the places is Canary Islands, right? That's off the coast of Spain. It actually has black sand because it is the island was volcanic, right? And the water is crystal blue.
D, you could live anywhere in the world. Where are you going?
Hawaii.
Fair enough. If you could do high school all over again, would you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh, wait a minute.
There's no right or wrong answer, guys.
I know. I'm trying to think really quickly. Wait a minute. Yeah, my high school years were okay. Yeah.
Charles, would you do high school over again?
Only if I knew what I know now. Yes.
Why? Because you could go to the head of the class at that point because you got the answers. Is that what you're saying?
Look at this. Because I didn't know how important high school was, right? How important education was, right? So now that I'm older, I know how important. I mean, education has literally got me to the quality of life that I have right now, right? And I didn't take it very seriously when I was in high school. So yeah, if I know what I knew now, yeah, I'll do it over.
If you could have a career in anything, what would it be?
I would probably have went into the medical field. One of the reasons is I didn't pursue that in my adult life is because half the words I can't pronounce.
That's a good reason not to go. I don't think I want you to be my doctor. If there's a career, D, that you could have done or would do, what would it be?
Acting.
Okay. All right. I like that. If you could have one song play every time you entered a room, what would that song be?
Want to be starting something.
Fair enough. Good choice. Charles, over to you.
Stairway to Heaven.
Sticking with you, Charles, what is your least favorite mode of transportation?
My least favorite mode of transportation is a bike.
I would concur with that, audience.
I actually own a brand new bike, and I think I broke that thing one time.
D, do you have a least favorite mode of transportation?
I don't think so, but since I'm on the spot and have to answer, I'll say the bus.
All right, we're bringing it on home. I got two more questions for you both. Staying with D, what is the first thing you bought with your own money?
Ooh, I remember. I bought a 13-inch black and white TV from JCPenney so that I could take it to college with me.
Charles, your first paycheck, your first real money that wasn't allowance, what did you buy?
The first thing I bought was a really nice pair of tennis shoes.
Actually, audience, I was going to say it's the tennis shoes that he's wearing right now. I made that comment at the tennis court not 4 days ago. 100%. Real talk. It's the truth. And I believe him. Those are those original shoes. Okay, folks, last question. What would you name the autobiography of your life?
I'm going to say, I don't know if this is really good or not. I just, how I always look at myself, right? I always look at myself as someone that will definitely help someone. So I would say help somebody. That would be my autobiography.
Help somebody. The autobiography of Charles Coplow. Got it. E, what is the name of your autobiography?
Wow. Just wow.
That is a great one. I thank you both for letting me kind of hijack the show today to try to get you guys to loosen up a little bit, tell your audience members something that they didn't know about you, and hopefully we will get some positive feedback. As the producer, I just want to say I truly appreciate the time, energy, and effort that you both put into what you do. You do it because you love it, but I think it really helps the audience and it helps me out a lot. I'll be the first to admit that there are some movies that I've gone and watched after actually listening to YouTube.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So just wanted you to know that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, in these last couple of minutes, I'm going to turn it back over to Charles and Denise so they can close it out. Please continue to support and enjoy the show. Thanks for having me here. Over to you.
All right, folks, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just make sure you hit that like button. And we're available on every podcast platform in the universe. Just type in, have you seen it, with Charles and Denise, and there we will be.
Thank you for joining us another episode of a strange but very good, entertaining Have You Seen It? And me and Denise were totally surprised, but it was a good surprise. So thank you for joining us. Have you seen it? Charles, yo, and my lovely co-host Denise, and we're out.
Bye-bye.